Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nameless Guy behind the camera here with Isle Collectibles, and I have part of a PSA return I wanted to go over. It is very likely just all Japanese modern, or like Japanese new back, not necessarily modern cards. Okay, so this is a pretty dope card to start off with. The Alakazam Level X Bonds to the End of Time. This was an interesting one too because like a lot of cards right now, and right now there's like I really think there's a huge issue with like price manipulation on cards. Stuff is just getting bought out, but like this is one of those cards. Similarly, like 2 months ago, around the time when I bought it raw, it spiked and it went to like $500-600 for PSA 10, and then a bunch of copies popped up for sale after that, and it dropped back down to around that $300 range, which I still think is pretty good. I think like all things considered, the Japanese level X and even Japanese EX cards being so cheap for how rare they are. Well, the fact that they're the highest rarity cards to pull in these sets, and most of them are under $250 PSA 10 still. Yeah, it's pretty reasonable to collect that stuff. Torterra level X from Space Time Creation. This is you see it just says DP1 bottom right hand corner. If you're ever curious, if you ever see, there's two Torterra level X's from this first Diamond and Pearl set. I'm pretty sure this is just this one that comes from the blister. Next up, Miracle Crystal Squirtle. This came back the PSA 9. I graded one of these in a 10, so I'm not too pressed about getting another one in 10. But yeah, just, a really cute Squirtle. Hajime Kusujima is also a really good artist as well. If you want to look, I've mentioned before, if you go to my website, I have the feature that you could sort by illustrator, so you can just collect. What I'm doing right now is I'm collecting Kawaii artworks. So you can just collect artists, and it's a pretty nice feature to have on the site that you could just sort stuff through. But yeah, Kusujima has a lot of nice cards. I might have some more in here, but just like a name I wanted to reference because I know most of the time when I grade their cards, I'm really happy to see them come back. But I noticed that this came back the 9, and it has edge wear throughout. Very, very light though, so I can understand why I graded it based off of the right hand edge wear. But that top right corner is almost like, unmistakable. You see that right away. So yeah, there was. I went through the scans when the sub came back, and I did notice a trend with the PSA 9s that I wanted to go over. And I'm kind of concerned that some of these cards might have been damaged after I had sent them off the PSA. Alakazam 4. So we have the Alakazam for level X from the set, and then we have the, what's it called? Just like the base rare, non-hollow, but it's a nice Arita artwork as well. And I consider Alakazam a pretty popular Pokemon. It is still a Diamond and Pearl rare, relatively popular, so getting it in the 10 is decent in my mind. Shining Darkness Growlithe, a cute little Hameno artwork of Growlithe. Pulled the PSA 10, which is nice. It looks a little bit off-center, a little skewed. And like I recently got back a sub of Diamond and Pearl rares, non-hollows, I should say. And a lot of 9s on that stuff, a lot like on Shining Darkness stuff. And I think that stuff was mint, but all had bad centering. But I would say it's similar to this Growlithe, but this one came back to 10. Malamar from Phantom Gate full art. Pretty sure the full arts I cracked and sent off to this were CGC copies. This came back a 9, which isn't a great grade. I graded 2 copies in 10 that they should have all been around the same condition. Let's just see. The back doesn't look that rough. One white dot there, but no issue on that. This is what I want to look out for, this top right corner. So this doesn't have that issue, so we'll just put it in the regular pile. But the ones I want to look out for, I'll set to the side. Right here, you can see the back of this card. Top right corner has an issue. The rest of the card is fine. Look at the rest, nothing that bad. That top right corner has pretty heavy wear. Comes back the 9 probably. Yep, Articuno, Dondesk comes back a 9. And, I think I'm pretty good at pre-grading these because I've sent this card off in the past, and I've gotten all 10s on the past versions that I sent off. So it is like a little alarming to get one, I'm picking out similar quality cards to send in. This one has a 9, and it has wear on that corner. Poliwrath Reverse Hollow from Soul Silver Collection. I don't know the pop off the top of my head, but with this lower pop stuff, I like to include it on the bottom of the screen, so you should have seen it by now. But yeah, this is nicer too because, reverses in general are pretty cool to come back in 10 because a big issue I always notice is the fronts have either dents or scratches because it's almost like the card is softer with the reverse. It's definitely easier to scratch than like a non-holo. But what's like the reverses can be any card in the set. So uncommons, commons, trainers. So getting the reverse rare is actually pretty hard to pull in a set to begin with, and getting back to 10, it's pretty dope. Pretty good. Another reverse, Mega Gengar EX from Premium Champion Pack. Just so you know, like, I like to give context on what these packs are. This set is pretty much all reverses to my knowledge. I think every card is reverse, and it is essentially just reprints of other cards from the X and Y era. It's actually super similar to Best of XY, but definitely not as cool. It doesn't have as unique of artworks, and it doesn't have the cool full art, and it doesn't have the good reverse pattern. This is like really similar to this in terms of reverse. Just, it's almost identical, actually. It's like the same exact reverse pattern used 7 years later. But that's, I mean, Gengar PSA 10 is always good. And Mega Gengar is actually pretty dope. It even says, I think the set this comes out is Phantom, XY Phantom Gate. Articuno Premium Champion Pack comes back to 9. Same thing, just the reverse from the set. PSA 9. Look, rest of the card looks pretty good. Top right-hand corner has issues. Let's see what this is. Rest of the card looks pretty good. Top right-hand corner has whitening. Comes back a 9. Just Pokemon and Charmander. This card looks pretty good. No real issues on the back of this. Comes back to 10. I know this card for a fact is a Pop 1 in PSA. EX Dragon Frontiers is a super hard set to collect in collect unlimited versions of, and the set in general also has pretty bad centering, so that is cool to see come back. Premium Champion Pack Pikachu, same thing, just the reverse of, I think this is, X collection, X and Y collection. The first 2 sets of X, Y both print this Pikachu artwork. Premium Champion Pack Greninja reverse in a 9. Look at the back, no real edge wear. Top right hand corner has wear. Next up looks pretty clean on the back. Came back to 9. This is not a great card to come back in 9, but no issue on the top right. But if you look at the cert, it is in like the front half of the submission, so maybe there's other issues. Something you gotta definitely look out for when you're sitting in XY and like Sun and Moon Hollows is print lines are super prevalent. So look out for that. This one looks pretty mint on the back. Premium Champion Pack Togetic comes back PSA 10. Just a reprinted artwork, but the reverse is nice. Another Premium Champion Pack 10, the Crobat. This is from Phantom Gate. Is that the name of the set, or is that just it says it on that Gengar? I don't know if that's the name of the set, but it is a reprint. There is this version of that in that set, this version, and then Best of XY reprints it with the really cool reverse. But I don't know. I was picking up these Champion Pack reverses just because I actually have no clue. The Best of XY reverses got really expensive, so I was like, I guess I'll try out some other reverses from different sets. Oh, this is dope. Xerneas EX from Super Legend set. So I think I was confused in the past. This card originally comes out in X collection, so like the first set of X and Y. There's a Xerneas, and then it gets reprinted in this set. And all the copies that I've graded were this version. I haven't bought the X collection version. I don't think I realized that it was also from, like, there was multiple printings of this card. Another really clean Japanese Nuback. Gengar from so the set is just Phantom Gate. Phantom Gate PSA 10 Gengar. Pretty dope. I wish I bought more of these. Like, everything in general has spiked, and it is hard to find these cards raw now, especially at like a decent price. Gengar is just, Gengar just sells, man. He's a really popular Pokemon, and he has good cards to collect, so it's something I definitely try to look out for. This is like whatever. I've graded a lot of these Kokiset Radiant Charizards. They have a pretty good PSA 10 pull rate. This one's pretty dope. Cruel Trader Meowth, PSA 10. I just graded one of those. It's, again, low pop. And Meowth is just popular and funny. Like, that's a fun artwork. 25th. I sprinkled in like 2 of these in every sub that I was sending out at the time. Unknown Reverse. This is an interesting one to me because I just got a PSA 10, so I checked the pop on that. And it said the PSA 10 was population 9. I was like, okay, that's quite a few PSA 10 copies from Heart Gold Collector. Just this card, just the reverse holo. But then it said that the PSA 9, there's only population 2. There's population 1, I should say. Sorry. They said that there was only 1 copy of this card in PSA 9, which wouldn't make any sense because there's this copy that I just got back, and I already have a PSA 9 listed. So there is something wrong with the pop report on that card. which also makes me concerned about like how accurate is the pop report on a lot of these reverses, if it can make that mistake. Rayquaza from Cry from the Mysterious pulls a 10. It's a good card. Another 10. I think this submission had the last copies of this card that I owned. The Darkrai V-Star. This is really cool from V-Star Universe. One of the nicer V-Star Universe cards. It's like Darkrai floating above the water. Just like outside the ocean, you got the beach there. That's a really sick artwork. V-Star Universe in general has good arts. We'll go through these quickly. Espeon EX from Best of XY. That's what I'm talking about. This is like a reprint. I think it comes out in, is it Raids of the... I think it's the Rage set. I don't think it's Awakening Psychic King. Just another reprint, 25th anniversary Dark Gyarados. And then, I sent this card in. I just thought it was cute, man. Starly from 1S showed Scarlet Collection. It's cute artwork. I was trying to send in, I don't know how popular Starly is, so I was trying to just send in Pokemon that I thought were more popular, like the Ralts, Corellia, even King Gambit. I thought it was pretty popular, so I sent some of those in. We'll definitely see on the Starly, but I thought this was one of the nicest artworks on the art rares that they did. So yeah, I mean, this is one PSA 8, a couple of 9s, but then overwhelming PSA 10. And I mean, these are not, some of these cards are a little bit older, and we're still getting 10s in them. So let's keep it going. This, just so you reminder, is the defective pile that has that Edgeware top right corner. PSA 10, Pokemon Charmander. You look at the back, and it has no wear on that right corner. So it comes back at 10. And that's where my concern is. If those two Charmanders I sent back to back look similar, but one of them has like the wear on the back while the other one has no wear, it's concerning to me. Because we look at this, Pokemon Charmeleon. That right-hand corner, the top right-hand corner is the only part that has wear. I have to hold my finger there so you can see it. That has the wear right there, top right-hand. Just go back to doing it like this. Poliwhirl and a 9. Nothing wrong with this corner specifically. You can hold it there. You see a little bit of whitening, but not bad. Just general wear along the back end, which is to be expected. It's a 14-year-old reverse holo. So, that is kind of in line with what I expect the 9s to look like, not to have such obvious corner wear. And, in general, I have a pretty decent PSA 10 rate. I'm averaging around 70% PSA 10 in subs. So it is alarming that I'm not spotting that type of something that bad when I'm sending this stuff out. Same thing. These edges are good. Top right-hand corner has the heavy wear, and it came back a 9. And I know this was a CGC copy I cracked. I don't remember the grade, but I think it was at least an 8.5. Mint card on the back comes back a 10. Let's see. Mint card on the back. Oh, wait. Nope. Everything looks mint except for that top right corner, and it came back a 9. Let's see this one. Mint card on the back. No edgeware on the top right. Came back a 10. And the card right next to it, we could see there. I show you the rest of the card. No wear. Top right corner has wear. Comes back to 9. Rest of this card looks good. Came back to 10. This is a pretty nice one too. Just a Raikou holo rare. The XY holo rares. X and Y, in my opinion, has some of the weaker artworks overall for holos. There's still some nice ones, but yeah, it's definitely tough. This to me was one of the really nice ones they did. Also, we'll see it. There's a nice Lugia. This might be it actually. Rest of the card, no real issues. The top right corner has really obvious wear, and it came back a 9. Now this is the Lugia I was talking about, the Awakening Psychic King, and this also gets reprinted in Best of XY, but it's a nice Tokia one. No edgeware really on the back of this. Looks good. Came back at 10. Not a crazy good card, but it is a Kawayu art, and I really like collecting his stuff. I just think he's just, overall phenomenal artist. It's really fun to just find an artist you like and go after their stuff. Let's see. No real edgeware on the back. Came back to 10. Garchomp half deck. Roserade. Cynthia's Roserade, also a Kawayu artwork, but, I'm a little biased. I grade the card because I like the art. It's like something I would get drawn to begin with, so I'm buying the card raw and grading it. And then I'm not really sure if other people have the same feelings when they see this type of artwork, that it's awesome. It's worth collecting. This one, again, no real wear, comes back to 10. The Leafeon holo. No real wear, probably a 10. 10 in the MC's chatter from the Leafeon half deck. There's a low pop. I think I saw one person selling these. It was pop 5, and I think they sold 5 copies on eBay. So this guy, probably one guy, just graded all the population and sold them out. So yeah, Starly 10. I mean, look at these cards, like no real wear on them. Okay, this one. Oh no, look right there. That top right hand corner has the issue. And just inspect it. Left hand corner is fine. Bottom is fine on both ends. But somehow, again, it's only the top right hand corner of the cards. This probably would have got a 9 to begin with because it's a secret rare from, actually I guess it's just ultra rare, not secret rare, but it has bad centering. From Storefront has bad centering in general, and this one's tougher to grade because it's like all over glossy, but it's like alarming to me that's always that one area that has the issue. And the last card was a Space-Time Creation Chimchar, literally just a regular set Chimchar, Ken Sugimori stock art. But it looked clean to me, so I was like, screw it, I'll grade it and see what happens. It came back at 10. I have no clue if that was worth it. I'm gonna have the pop posted for that too. That is funny. So let's go through this quick. I mean, this was my concern when I saw the scans, was that every single one of these cards, that right hand corner has wear. The rest of the card, you saw me flip them over and go through them, no issues. But that right hand corner on all of these has something wrong with it. And it's what's alarming to me is it's like the same level of wear on every single one. You see the same amount of whitening on each one. So that has me more concerned it's like a systemic issue versus just a random issue. It's tough to prove because the pops are spread out so much. You know, every single card has the same wear there. You know, maybe there's a chance that I'm just not paying enough attention when I'm inspecting the cards. Like I'm looking everywhere else. You know, maybe I'm holding the cards like this, so I see the left, right, bottom, and the left edge. Like I just, you know, if I'm holding it like this, when I look at it, maybe I'm not seeing it. It is just alarming to me that every single one has that issue. I mean, these two, I guess, were sequential. It stood out to me that the cards that were pulling 9s in this sub overwhelmingly had the issue in that same area. Some of them that were pulling 9s just looked like they had natural wear, but they were kind of spread out around the cards. But this stack all had wear in the exact same spot, which to me kind of felt like a red flag. It's not a huge amount, so maybe this was just me making a mistake. And I can't really think of how PSA would have done this. You know, maybe it was manhandled in the process of pulling them out of the card savers. You know, maybe they were just rough on sleeving the cards or wherever they were left. I'm not sure how PSA handles the subs once they get to them, once they're in their possession. But you know, you can feel free to let me know what you think. But this was just something I wanted to show, that on this stack of 9s, every single card had like the same level of damage in the same exact spot. All right, thanks for watching. Overall, this was still a pretty good sub. This was like 50 cards, I think, and it was a lot of unique stuff that I can't wait to get scanned in and listed. So have a nice one, guys, and please let me know what you think about this type of issue, and have a nice one.